To the administration of Columbia University subject, public concern regarding misrepresentation of Iranian protests by Professor Hamid Dabashi background and purpose. We, the undersigned, are Iranian citizens, scholars, students, human rights advocates, and members of the international academic community. We are writing to express serious concern regarding public statements made by Columbia University Professor Hamid Dabashi during a recent Al Jazeera interview, in which he asserted that demonstrations in Tehran are an extension of the 12-day war and an Israeli provocation against a legitimate system. As individuals familiar with events inside Iran and the documented record of state repression, we must emphasize that these claims are not only factually unsupported, but harmful. Facts and documentation. Major waves of Iranian protest and civic resistance occurred long before the current regional conflict. In 1999, 2009, 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2022-2023. These movements were driven by domestic grievances related to political repression, economic collapse, and systemic human rights violations. These conditions are extensively documented in reports from credible international bodies, including United Nations Special Rapporteur on Human Rights in Iran, annual reports documenting arbitrary detentions, executions, and violent suppression of protests. Amnesty International, trampling humanity, detailing mass arrests, enforced disappearances, and torture after the 2019 protests. Human Rights Watch, Iran, no justice for bloody crackdown, documenting security forces killing of at least 300 protesters in 2019. UN Human Rights Council resolution, establishing a fact-finding mission following the killing of Mahsa Amini and the 2022-2023 protests. These findings directly contradict the portrayal of Iranian protests as foreign provocations or extensions of external wars. To attribute Iranian civic resistance to foreign governments erases the agency of millions of Iranians and delegitimizes victims of state violence. Why we are petitioning. This petition is not intended to contest Professor Dabashi's political views, but to raise serious concern about the manner in which his remarks were framed as objective analysis under the authority of his Columbia University affiliation. When faculty present politically motivated narratives as empirical truth, it undermines the standards of scholarly integrity that Columbia is globally recognized for. This situation raises broader institutional concerns, academic integrity, and scholarly standards, presenting geopolitical conjecture as fact without supporting evidence risks, normalizing misinformation under Columbia's name. Reputational risk to Columbia University, unchallenged statements that delegitimize oppressed populations and echo authoritarian narratives can damage Columbia's international credibility. Silence may be interpreted as institutional tolerance. Ethical harm to vulnerable communities. Amnesty International, HRW, and the UN have documented executions, torture, sexual violence, and forced confessions against Iranian protesters. Dismissing their struggle as a foreign plot contributes to erasure and normalization of state violence, an ethical, not merely political, concern. Consistency with Columbia's stated values. Columbia advocates for justice, human rights, and the protection of oppressed peoples. Excluding Iranians from that ethical framework produces inconsistency for students, alumni, and the global academic community. Our request: we are not asking Columbia University to suppress academic freedom or to endorse a political position. We respectfully request a formal clarification, review, or institutional statement distinguishing personal political commentary from scholarly analysis. Acknowledgement that these remarks do not represent factual consensus nor the lived reality of Iranians. Consideration for Iranian students, scholars, and communities whose lived experiences should not be erased through unsupported narratives. Such actions would demonstrate ethical consistency, uphold scholarly standards, and affirm Columbia's stated commitment to justice and human rights. We, the undersigned, affirm Iranian civic resistance is indigenous, long-standing, and documented. It must not be dismissed as foreign manipulation. Victims of state violence deserve recognition, not erasure. Academic institutions have a responsibility to prevent misinformation presented as scholarship. United for Voiceless Iran Pioneer Movements, Iran Patriotic Labor.